So, the direct has finally wrapped up, and all I can say is,
Mamma mia!
hello YouTube, it's your host Raven Rose, and you are now watching Dual Edge TV. And if you are new here, make sure you like and subscribe. Let's go. Now, we knew that this direct was coming and that it was going to be something special. And oh my gosh, it seems like the theme of this whole conference was just support. Like those days of Wii U droughts and Nintendo not having any third-party support, we can pretty much put those days in the past, beginning with the awesome Okami HD. Now, like most of you, when this was announced last year and then it came to the forefront that there was no Switch version, I was pretty disappointed. So now seeing this as like one of the first games that they show in a conference definitely had me hyped. Not only is having such a classic epic game in the palm of your hands, just portable, a very nice feature, but it will be very interesting to see how the Switch tackles this game's very unique control scheme, even making this a relatively new experience for people who have played this game before. Let's go. And continuing with that theme of third-party support is Activision with Crash Bandicoot. Now, this title is going to be very significant because for the first time in a long time, you're going to be able to have Sonic, Super Mario and Crash Bandicoot all on the same console. And for all nostalgic gamers, this proposition is just way too good to pass up. The Crash Bandicoot trilogy is definitely one of gaming's most loved, and it's going to be really interesting to see it come to the Nintendo Switch. It will be very interesting to see how this version holds up to its PlayStation 4 counterpart when it comes to performance. But either way, in between this, Sonic and Mario, Nintendo Switch is definitely the home of platformers. And continuing with the theme of more mature titles heading to the Nintendo Switch is South Park: The Fractured But Whole. I know how that sounds, but this is a family show. It is awesome to see this turn-based RPG stroke action adventure coming to the Switch. It's going to be great to see all the character customization, all the DLC, all the rude jokes, everything that we love about this series and franchise make its way to the Switch. And it's kind of cool to see Nintendo just letting their hair down and letting stuff like this fly. It will be interesting to see if anything else gets censored because, you know, Nintendo. Now, when I saw this logo, I was like,
Yes! 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 Yes!
earlier this week, I already reported on smaller details regarding this game, so to actually see some gameplay footage was amazing. Now, in all honesty, gameplay wise, this looks like a far departure from what we usually expect from No More Heroes. It looks like more of a twin stick slasher, if there was ever such a thing. But anyway, it looks great either way. It's multiplayer, so you'll be able to make use of sharing the joy with those cons. It's still got that great art style, great bosses that we love, and it's still gonna have a crazy theme. This game is split up into different kind of mini games, so you'll be playing different varieties of genres: shooting, action, even racing and driving. There'll be more characters to unlock, so yes, expect the usual Suda51 brand of insanity later this year. And continuing with the theme of third-party support, Bandai Namco gave us a somewhat shaky presentation as concerning Dark Souls. Now, don't get me wrong, graphically the game did look good and it is a little bit of a way away, but the frame rate did not look so spicy in all those places. And with this game, you do need the frame rate to be running at least a responsible or reliable rate, so you can make sure you have your dodges and slashes on point. But one thing that I really liked is the network test, which will give us a chance to actually play Dark Souls and get into it to get us ready for it. And another thing that was awesome is the amiibo. Yes, Dark Souls now has amiibo, and I'm not even going to try and pre-order it because it's probably sold out by the time you're watching this. Now, looking at this direct, you can really tell that Mario Tennis Aces has a lot of potential. It could even be the game that rivals Mario Kart as the Nintendo Switch's multiplayer battle royale. Now, is it me, But did every time they announce a new mechanic for this game, you just wanted to sigh? Now, I do like that Nintendo have definitely tried to overhaul and retool the Mario Tennis formula, but it does seem like some of the shots and skills that you use are a little bit too gimmicky. Now, I do like the fact that they tried to add a little bit of risk reward and balance to the shots, but I'm not sure if it will hurt the gameplay in the long haul. Now, I do like the fact that they do have a purist mode that gets rid of all of the stuff, and that is definitely the mode I will be playing. But this still has tons of potential. Bring on the hype. Now, overall, that was a quite good conference. We got a more in-depth look at the Nintendo Switch's first 6 months of 2018. We have a steady stream of multiplats like South Park, Dark Souls, which will fill out the Nintendo Switch's library, while games like Kirby, No More Heroes, and Mario Aces do the heavy lifting as exclusives. And other titles like Undertale and the Splatoon DLC should also bolster the Switch's lineup. Now, personally, as I am a huge fighting game fan, I would have loved to see some kind of announcement for a new fighting game, even if it was Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. That would have just completely done it for me. But overall, they did very well. So it'll be very interesting to see if Nintendo can repeat the same success this year as they did last year. And oh yeah, I think there was something else I forgot to mention. Smash Brothers hype confirmed.